guys, welcome back. This practice I'm going to take you through a flow, so it just means we're going to move a little bit faster through each pose. Some may be a little bit repetitive just to get into that practice. So just be less holds and just a little bit more of a workout, maybe a little bit sweatier, but it's all part of the fun. So when you're ready, we'll just get into that comfortable seated position. Relaxing down those shoulders, closing down those eyes, drawing that spine long, and just bringing your awareness to each breath. Allowing the inhales and the exhales to be the same length. Allowing the breath to extend all the way down into that pelvic bowl. Just holding the breath there for a moment. And then slowly releasing back out through the nose. Releasing any thoughts or distractions around you. And just allowing yourself to tune in to what your body's asking for today. Simply letting go of any judgment, any tension through the body, any thoughts from your day, any stress. And just simply be free. Find this moment for yourself. And honor everything that your body's asking for. This is your practice. And I'm just here guiding you along the way. So next inhale, we're going to sweep those arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, turn those palms down towards the ground, bringing those hands all the way down by your side. Inhaling to lift, engage in those arms. Exhaling to lower, keep those fingers spread wide as if you're pushing water away. Inhale to lengthen, up overhead. Exhaling to lower. 2 more times, inhaling to lift. And exhaling to lower. Then we're going to bring those feet together, coming into that bound angle. Your next inhale, we're going to draw those knees up towards the chest. Exhaling to lower. Inhaling to lift. Exhaling to lower. Inhaling to lift. Exhaling to lower. 2 more times. Following that breath. 1 more. Settling here, just releasing tension in those hips. Then your next exhale will extend that left leg out to the side. Left hand to the inside of that left leg. Your next inhale, sweeping that right hand up overhead. Exhaling to lower over towards the left. Inhaling to lengthen. Exhaling over towards the left. Inhaling to lengthen. 1 more time. Exhaling to lower. Just holding here just for a couple breaths. Feeling that stretch in that right side body. In the back of that left leg. Your next inhale, sweeping back up towards center. Exhaling to release. Then we'll switch sides, so extend that right leg. Right hand to inside of that right leg. Inhaling to lift that left arm. Exhaling over towards the right. Inhaling to lengthen. Exhaling over towards right. Inhaling to lengthen. Then 1 more time, just holding here. Feeling that stretch in the body. letting go of any tension. Next, inhale, scooping back up towards center, and exhaling to release. We'll extend that left leg back out, bringing the hands to center, and slowly walking forward just slightly. You can bend the elbows a little bit if you choose to, or you can drop down towards those forearms. Just finding that comfortable position just for a moment. Next, inhale, slowly lifting back up. We'll bring those feet together, bending those knees out in front, bringing those hands down by your side. Engage in that core. Next, inhale, we're gonna lift up that right leg. Exhaling to lower, inhale to lift the left. Switching sides. Lifting that left, dropping that right. And one more time, inhale, lift the right, dropping the left. One more, switching sides. The next inhale, lifting both legs up. Then when you're ready, bringing those hands out by the side, finding that boat pose. Focus on that breath to find the balance, staying strong. Your next exhale, you can release, bringing those knees in towards your chest, giving yourself a hug. Your next exhale, you can release, and we'll come onto those hands and knees. Just keeping those fingers spread wide. Engage in that core. The wrists and shoulders are in line. Your next inhale, we're going to round the spine, tucking your head in towards the chest, coming towards that cat. Exhale, dropping the belly towards earth, lifting through the head. And then coming back down towards that child's pose. Next, inhale, rounding that spine, coming up towards that cat. Exhale, finding your cow, dropping the chest, and then coming back down towards child's pose. Inhaling to lift. Exhale, coming towards cat, coming back down towards child's pose. Following your own breath for 3 more rounds. Allowing that breath to guide you. Releasing tension with each breath. Allowing the body to open. And when you finish, come back to your tabletop. Come back towards your hands and knees. Your next inhale, we're going to extend that right leg and that left arm. Exhaling, drawing the elbow knee towards your chest. Inhaling to lengthen. Exhaling towards your chest. Inhaling to lengthen. One more time, elbow knee towards your chest. And inhaling to lengthen. Next exhale, you can release. Or your next inhale, extend that left leg and that right arm. Exhaling, elbow knee towards your chest. Inhaling to lengthen. 2 more. Exhaling towards center. Inhaling to lengthen. 1 more. Exhaling, elbow knee towards chest. And inhaling to lengthen. Next exhale, you can release. Coming back to those hands and knees. Then when you're ready, we're going to curl those toes under. We're going to lift up, pushing back towards that downward dog. Extending out through those arms. Pushing back the shoulder blades. Pressing down through those heels. Drawing those lower ribs in. And just coming back towards that breath. Your next inhale, you're going to slowly walk those feet towards the top of your mat. Inhaling towards your halfway lifts. Exhale to fold forward. Inhaling to come all the way to standing, hands overhead. And exhale, hands down to heart center. Inhale, sweeping those hands all the way overhead. Exhaling to fold forward. inhaling to your halfway lift. Exhale to fold forward. Placing those hands either stepping or jumping back towards your high plank. Exhale, push back towards your downward dog. Our next inhale, lift up that right leg. Exhale and squaring off those hips, stepping that right foot forward in between the hands. Your next inhale, we're going to sweep those hands all the way up overhead, lifting up towards that crescent pose. Next exhale, folding forward, bringing those hands down, stepping that right foot back in towards your downward dog. Inhale, we're going to lift up that right leg. Exhale, stepping that right foot forward in between the hands. Your next inhale, sweeping those hands all the way up overhead, lifting up towards that crescent pose. Your next exhale, rotating back foot and arms, finding that warrior two. Keeping those shoulders down, fingers spread wide. Your next inhale, rotating the back foot and arms, coming back towards that crescent pose. Your next exhale, fold forward, bring those hands down, stepping that right foot back in towards your downward dog. Your next inhale, lifting that right foot. Exhale, stepping that right foot forward in between the hands. Your next inhale, sweeping those hands all the way up overhead. Exhaling towards warrior two. Your next exhale, dropping that right elbow towards the top of that right thigh, sweeping that left hand up overhead. Shoulders back away from the ears, grounding in through both of those feet. Next inhale, sweep back up, finding that warrior two. Rotating the back foot, sweeping those hands up overhead. Exhaling to fold forward. Stepping that right foot back in towards your downward dog. I'm going to go for 2 more times. So your next inhale, lifting that right foot. Exhaling, stepping that right foot forward. Inhaling, sweep those arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, rotating the back foot, coming towards your warrior two. Your next exhale, dropping that right elbow, top of the right thigh, sweeping that left hand up overhead. Your next inhale, sweeping those arms back up towards your warrior two. Turn that front palm open. We're going to exhale to find that reverse warrior. Left hand on the back of left thigh, right hand overhead. Keep bending through that right foot. Keep bending through that right knee. Engage in those legs. Next inhale, rotating back towards your warrior two. Inhaling to rotate the back foot and arms, making those adjustments, find that crescent pose. Your next exhale, folding forward, bring those hands down, stepping that right foot back in towards your downward dog. Next inhale, lifting that right leg. On an exhale, stepping that right foot forward in between the hands. Your next inhale, sweeping those hands all the way up overhead. Exhale, when rolling those arms, finding that warrior two. Dropping that right elbow, top of that right thigh, sweeping that left hand up overhead. Inhaling to lift back up towards that warrior two. Turn that front palm open as we find that reverse warrior. Then we're going to flow through those 3 poses. So inhaling to rotate back to warrior two. Exhaling to drop down to side angle. Inhaling to lift back to warrior two. Front palm opens as we move back to reverse warrior. Inhaling back to warrior two. Exhaling to drop to side angle. Inhaling to lift. Exhaling back to reverse warrior. Inhaling back towards warrior two. And then flowing through those for 3 more rounds, following that own breath. And when you're finished, come back towards that warrior two. And when you're ready, rotate back foot and arms, finding that crescent pose. Next exhale, lowering those hands all the way down towards the ground. Stepping that right foot back in towards your downward dog. And then lowering down towards those knees, leaving a little space. Uncurling those toes and coming back down towards that child's pose. Next inhale, slowly starting to lift. We'll curl those toes back under, lifting up, pushing back in towards our downward dog. Next inhale, we're going to lift up that left foot. I'm going to exhale, starting that left foot in between the hands. Next inhale, sweeping those arms all the way up overhead, lifting up towards that crescent pose. Next exhale, lowering those hands back down, stepping that left foot back into downward dog. Your next inhale, lifting that left leg. Exhale, stepping that left foot forward. Inhaling, sweep those arms all the way up overhead. Exhaling, rotating that back foot arms, finding that warrior two. Coming in towards that strong stance. Your next inhale, rotating those. Next inhale, rotating that back foot and arms, finding that crescent pose. Exhaling to fold forward, stepping that left foot back into your warrior two downward dog. Inhaling to lift that left leg. Exhale, step that foot forward. Inhaling, sweep those arms all the way up overhead. Exhaling to warrior two. And dropping that left elbow, top of the left thigh, sweeping that right hand up overhead. Coming into that extended side angle. Next inhale, sweeping those arms back up, finding that warrior two. And inhale, rotating the back foot and arms, finding that crescent pose. Exhaling to fold forward, bringing those hands down, stepping the left foot back in towards your downward dog. Your next inhale, lifting that left leg. Exhale, step that left foot forward. Inhaling, sweep those arms all the way up overhead. Exhaling back towards warrior two. Exhaling to drop that left elbow, top of the left thigh, right hand overhead. Inhaling to lift back to warrior two. Putting that front palm open as you exhale to reverse warrior. Right hand to back of right thigh, left hand overhead. Keeping that grip between the feet. Next inhale, rotating back towards warrior two. Inhaling to rotate the back foot and arms, starting that crescent pose. Exhaling to fold forward. Stepping the left foot back in towards downward dog. Then one more time as we flow through those poses. Do your next inhale, lifting that left leg. Exhale, step that left foot forward. Inhaling to sweep those hands all the way up overhead. Exhale, rotating the back foot and arms, finding that warrior two. On the exhale, dropping the left elbow, top of the left thigh. Sweeping the right hand up overhead. Inhaling to lift to warrior two. Exhaling to reverse warrior. Inhaling back towards warrior two. Exhaling to lower to the extended side angle. Inhaling to lift. Exhaling to reverse. Inhaling to lift. Warrior two. Exhaling to lower. Inhaling to lift. And exhale, finding that reverse warrior. Following your own breath for 3 more rounds. Moving with each inhale and exhale. Engaging all those muscles. Then when you're finished, come back towards that warrior two. Then when you're ready, rotate the back foot and arms, finding that crescent pose. Now exhale, folding forward, bringing those hands down, stepping the left foot back in towards your downward dog. And lowering those knees back down towards the ground, coming back towards that child's pose. Allowing that breath and the body to settle. Relaxing the mind. And just coming in towards that stillness. Your next inhale, you're going to slowly start to lift, coming back to all fours, finding that tabletop. Bring those knees back in together. And we'll curl those toes under, lifting up and pushing back in towards that downward dog. Then from here, on that next inhale, we're going to push forward, coming towards that high plank. Exhale to push back. Inhaling to move forward. Exhaling to push back. One more time, inhaling to move forward. And exhaling to push back. Next inhale, we're going to lift up that right leg. On an exhale, bending that knee, drawing that knee in towards the chest. Bringing that knee over towards that left elbow. Exhaling to push back. Inhaling towards that high plank, bringing that knee in towards the chest. Exhaling to push back. Then inhaling to draw that right knee over towards that right elbow. Exhaling to push back. And your next inhale, drawing that knee back in towards center. Then lowering that knee down towards the ground, coming towards that pigeon. Coming up onto those fingertips. Next exhale, we're going to lower the head and the chest. Inhaling to rise. Exhaling to lower. Inhaling to lift. One more time, exhaling to lower. And inhaling to lift. Your next exhale, you can drop down to those forearms if you choose. Just taking a moment here. Sending the breath down towards that right hip. Taking a few more breaths here. And your next inhale, you can slowly start to lift, coming back up onto those hands. We'll curl those left toes under, lifting up and pushing back in towards that downward dog. Next inhale, we're going to push forward, coming towards that high plank. Engaging the core. Exhaling, push back. Inhaling to move forward. Exhaling, push back. One more time, inhaling to move forward. And exhaling to push back. Next inhale, lifting that left leg. Exhale, bending that left knee, drawing that left knee over towards that right elbow. Exhaling to push back. Inhaling to draw that knee in towards the chest, coming to that high plank. Exhaling to push back. Inhaling to draw that left knee over towards that left elbow. Exhaling to push back. Next inhale, drawing that knee in towards the chest, lowering down towards the ground. Coming back down to that pigeon on the other side. Coming back up to those fingertips. On an exhale, lowering the head and chest, lifting those elbows. Inhaling to lift. Exhaling to lower. Inhaling to lift. One more time, exhaling to lower. And inhaling to lift. Next exhale, dropping down towards those forearms if you choose. Resting the head down on the mat or on your arms. Acknowledging the breath and setting it down towards that left hip. Noticing how one side feels compared to the other. And then just allowing the tension to be released with each breath. Just a couple more breaths on this side. Next inhale, you can slowly start to lift and back up to those hands, curling those right toes under, lifting up and pushing back in towards your downward dog. Next inhale, slowly walking those feet towards the top of your mat. Coming to that forward fold. Inhaling to your halfway lift to the flat back. Exhale to fold forward. Inhaling, come all the way to standing, hands overhead. And exhale, the hands on the heart center. And we're going to come to lying on the back with your knees bent. Next exhale, we're going to let the knees fall over towards the right side. Inhaling to lift back up towards center. Exhaling over towards the left. Inhale to engage the core, back to center. Exhaling over towards the right. Inhaling back to center. Then exhaling over towards the left. Inhaling back up towards center. Then following your own breath for 3 more rounds. Exhaling the knees as you lower. And inhaling as you lift those knees back to center. As you engage that core. And then when you're finished, just coming back towards center. So we're going to draw that right knee in towards our chest. Letting go of that right knee as we cross that right leg over the left leg. We're going to let those knees fall towards the left side. We're going to extend those arms long with a gaze over that right shoulder. Starting that gentle twist. Maybe closing down the eyes if that's comfortable for you. lift, coming back up towards center. Uncrossing that right leg. We'll inhale to lift that left knee in towards our chest. And then when you're ready, letting go, cross that left leg over top of that right. Bring those arms back out to that T shape. Letting those knees fall over to the right side. And bringing that gaze over that left shoulder. Finding that comfortable twist for your body. Bringing awareness back to each breath. Allowing any thoughts to be lifted. And letting go of any distractions. Next inhale, you can slowly start to lift, coming back towards center. And crossing that left leg. Next inhale, bring both knees in towards our chest, giving ourselves a hug. Gently rock from side to side if you choose. Letting go, finding that happy baby. Moving onto the outside of those feet. Letting go of any final tension in those hips. Again, rolling from side to side if you choose, or just staying still. And then when you're ready, letting go of those feet, extending those legs all the way up to the sky. Gently roll in those ankles one way. Then switching direction. And bring those ankles back towards center. Your next exhale, lowering those legs all the way down towards the ground. Allowing the feet to fall to each side. Hands can be by your side or on the belly. Just closing down those eyelids. Relaxing the jaw. Relaxing your facial muscles. And relaxing the back of your head and neck. Now relaxing the upper part of your body. And now the lower part of your body. Using this time to find your stillness. Just allowing that body to feel heavy as you sink deeper in towards the mat. Just knowing that you're in your safe space and there's nothing else that matters in this moment. Time is for you and for you only. You chose to show up for yourself, so honor this moment. Start to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. Gently roll your head from side to side. Your next deep inhale, swing those arms all the way up overhead, extending it through the fingers and the toes. And then when you're ready, gently rolling over to one side. Making your way back up into that comfortable seated position. Just closing down those eyes, relaxing the shoulders, spine extended, and just grounding into that earth below you. Every so often, life will throw you a curveball. In that moment, that's how you choose to react. You choose whether you want the positive side or the negative side. Sometimes you may need to just take that small step back to see the bigger picture. But how you react shows the outcome in the long run. Your next inhale, you can sweep those hands all the way up overhead. Exhale, dropping those hands down towards heart center. Thank you for joining me and letting me guide you through your practice. Namaste.